Hello, everybody. It's Jimmiealice Elizabeth Williams, aka J. Elizabeth, and today I'm talking about preferences because, oh my goodness, one second. I'm gonna bring you with me because I know you can barely hear me. I need headphones. No worries, I ordered the new iPhone, so I guess I'll just stand here. I don't have to be in the bathroom with all the lighting and stuff. So I'm not looking down on you. That's not what's happening. Maybe I could. Oh, that's not high enough, but whatever. Let me just give you a disclaimer that this is not a personal attack by any means. This is not a personal attack on your preferences, your way of life, your uh, thoughts, your intellect, your upbringing, your desires in life. This is not a personal attack. This is just me being an example of reflection publicly. So I have dated outside of my race, funny enough, and it was a Italian guy. And for some reason, I was really embarrassed by it. Um, I learned a lot, but I was embarrassed because he wasn't black. Not because he was shorter than me, because I'm 5'11", he was 5'7". That was actually, height doesn't matter, honestly, when it came to him. He was really into the gym. He had a real understanding of who he was or his goals. Like, he was self assumed pretty much. Like, he was really consumed by himself and had room for someone else. So that was a great relationship because we started off as friends, got to know each other, and then out of nowhere, yeah, Scorpio things, because he was also a Scorpio. And I'm also into astrology. So specifically, well, I might as well dive into it since I brought it up. I learned astrology to understand myself, to become someone that I understand, and to have a actual route in life. Now, I've already had a route in life before I went to Oxford University in the UK to learn astrology, and I didn't have to go out there, but that's just who I am. And a lot of the black guys that I've dated, except one, I can't really assume because I messed that relationship up before it could even go very far. We were engaged, and I was 19. We were engaged, and he moved to Hawaii. I moved to Korea, and that was kind of the end of the relationship because I was unable to support him while he was deployed. We were in the military, and yeah, he's moved on, so all is well. But that's the only relationship with a black man that I wonder, like, what it could have been, because I feel like I might need to start dating outside my race. Seriously, though, this time. I was ashamed of the white guy because he was white. And, we're all programmed by our childhood. And this is the reflection part that I'm being an example of. We're all a part of our childhood and a product of our childhood. And growing up, I was raised Catholic. I was hella Catholic, like big Catholic, old style churches, boring choir, kneeling, the communion, the confessional, the all of that, like all of that. And um, it gives you this sense of one, shame being in religion, especially if you're Catholic, because it's a little more strict there, I would say. Like, I went to a Baptist church and people started like running around catching Holy Ghost and stuff. Like, we don't do that. We have rules, parameters, and the goal is to get through this sermon uninterrupted. The goal is to eat the bread, the body of Christ, and drink some blood of Christ, and get up out of here on time. And if there's events other than that, then there's events other than that. But I was also in Catholic school, all girls Catholic school. So I was taught by my Catholic aunts and uncles that white people were this, white people were that. And I kind of, it kind of stuck with me. And then later in life, because they told me that as a child. And then later in life, when globalization is happening, people are intermingling a little more, we're seeing how it all unfolds. Those thoughts were never brought up again. And I respect these people like in my family, so I kind of always went off of their word on things, especially in adulthood, because when you're a Christian, you're kind of taught how to listen, along with school, along with um, if you were raised knowing racial issues and things like that, because I wasn't. I was not allowed to listen to music much. I was sneaking listening to music, and the music that I preferred to listen to was like island music, like what was I doing? Or California music, which is also an interesting genre to listen to. And I didn't have the black experience, I'll say. Like, I didn't even know there was an issue being dark skinned. Like, I genuinely did not know. And so I didn't grow up with those same insecurities input into me or programmed into me from youth. And I didn't grow up thinking that there was something wrong with me, or that um, I needed attention. Like, I didn't grow up needing attention necessarily. If anything, I got used to not having attention, and I was actually like, okay, cool, fine, that's fine by me. Um, and when I was with the white guy, it was a lot of attention being brought up. I was only in public with him one time, and that was with our coworkers, and we happened to be drinking, and I made out with him in public, and embarrassed to say, I didn't know how to address it anymore. Like, I was like, all right, I think we gotta end this, because what the heck? Like, I don't want those. I just don't know if I'm ready for those questions. But that is something that I'm working on now, and because I kind of feel like there's a difference when it comes to how you were raised, and majority of black people were raised similarly. And I'm either gonna have to be with one of the weirder black guys, which I love them. They're scared of me sometimes, I'll say, because the ones that like anime, the ones that are like in the IT field, highly likely, they don't really approach me much. I remember when I was in the military, because I was in communications, which is like closely integrated with the IT field, and there was this kid. He was black and super tall, super cute, wore glasses, super skinny, played guitar in a band now. Like, I'll put the link below for him. He's married to a white woman, and they have like the most loving relationship. And it's because he's not. I feel like the weird guys, and I've always felt this about weird people, because people didn't consider me weird because of my looks, and I didn't even know. Like, I had ugly duckling syndrome, so I didn't even know I was cute. And he said, he came up to me because there was like a reception desk. It's called a CQ desk, but there was like a desk that you had to come up in before you get your room, while we were in school in the military learning our job. And he came up to me. This is where we live. He came up to me and said, are there any bathrooms here? And I'm like, of course there's bathrooms here. Like, your room's upstairs, because the guys were upstairs and the girls were on the first floor. And he just seemed so shy and scared and timid and afraid of me. And I was the only other low rank person in the room, so he had no choice but to ask me. But I just thought it was so interesting that it seemed like he was afraid of me. And I wasn't even who I am now. But on the other hand, they're like, I don't like when black guys are like, have this urgency or this feeling that they gotta get something together, like there's something wrong with them, and they have to fix it before they date me. Um, it's like with white guys, it was way easier to the point where I told this man he was perfect, and I felt like I shouldn't be dating him because I felt like I was tainting him. Like I felt like when he was married, because he is married now, I didn't want him to ever have to think about me being from his past or like the things or compare his wife to me in any way. Like I felt really bad. And the crazy thing is he's heard that multiple times. So with white guys, what I've noticed is they're missing love, like love, which is easy for black people, in my opinion. If we trust you enough, we're gonna just love you. Whether it becomes unconditional love, whether it becomes productive love, that's the journey. But with white people, it's like love, which is easy for black people. But with black people, it seems to be like a lot of them feeling like they're fundamentally flawed, like they're missing mechanics, life mechanics, or life information that was deprived of them. And I was raised by my father, who's a black man, and my mother is a black woman. And when it comes to black men, it's like they're still debating if the woman that they marry is a human. Someone just said, a woman, she says doesn't, she dates men, but she dehumanizes them. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. And she's black. And I was like, dang, that's crazy because that's what I was thinking during the Black Lives Matter movement. It must be really easy for white people to dehumanize black people, considering black people always do it. Like, so I don't want to be with a black guy that like wants to dehumanize me. Like, yeah, I'm a human with capabilities and all the functions. Like, I don't feel like I'm flawed in any way. So don't come into it trying to bring me down because you feel like someone's trying to bring you down. Like, I would love to be with a guy who knows his flaws and wants to talk about them publicly, behind the scenes, in a therapy room, anything. Because I'm not, even aside from what everybody thinks, like, I love my life. I live a wonderful life. And I don't want it to make you feel insecure about your life choices. You can make new choices. And that's why I don't know if I can date guys with a 9 to 5 anymore, or guys that aren't retired anymore in some way and just freelancing and living their life how they want to live, because I don't like the comments must be nice. I don't like the secondhand thing. I didn't do that yet. Let me catch up. Urgency that comes with some dating those specific guys. Because it's giving, it starts to become manipulative and it starts to become a little bit competitive. And it's like, you don't have to compete with me. Like, I thought we were together. Like, that means what I got, we got. What you got, we got. So we are a thing. But I also dated a Native American guy, and it was just so another race that's like missing love because it was kind of ripped from them, if you think about it. And he wasn't like an alcoholic or anything crazy. He was awesome, tall, Leo, handsome, funny, etc. But I knew at the end of the day, he wanted to be with a Native American woman. I'm grateful I got to experience someone who's not insecure about who they are, and felt insecure about their upbringing. And that's, again, when I talk about the black nerds, they're not insecure. They might be shy about it, but they're not insecure. They'll show their weirdness. Like, if he like anime, he probably gonna have a ton of anime stuff at his house, and you gotta either hate it or love it. If he likes, I remember my ex-husband, he enjoyed classic rock, and I really liked that about him. Like, he wasn't ashamed about it. I mean, I think he thought I was lying when I said that's pretty cool, but I genuinely feel like men have better music taste. There's just certain thoughts that I have that are probably irregular. So I'm essentially that weird black girl. I guess I'm that weird black girl who you can't put your assumptions on. You just got to get to know me. And that is why, and I feel like I don't have much more dating of black men left in me, especially if he's not the weird one. Because you gotta love yourself. Because I love me, and I'm not competing with no man. We got two different perspectives, two different subsets. Like, no, I'm not. And I'm not also, no, I don't have a cookbook. No, I don't have a cookbook. I was raised by my dad. He did the cooking. And he's a Virgo, and he's mean sometimes. And he's a perfectionist. So that means if I'm in the kitchen with him trying to figure out what he's doing to cook this daggone meal, he's going to get a little secretive for whatever reason. And I need my husband, number two, to distract him while I write down all the recipes, because no, I'm not going to have no goddamn recipe book. I was his subordinate in his mind. He wasn't giving me the sauce. You know how men work. Half of y'all didn't get any guidance from the uncles or men in your lives. They just felt like it was a secret that they had to keep because they had to one-up somebody. And if it wasn't going to be their people in their age range, it had to be their children. And that also sucks in the community. But I'm not trying to abandon y'all. Don't take it that way. Because it's not like it's not like all of y'all are even interested. But just notes. And I think that's okay. Know your preferences, right? All right, guys. Later.